professional here. We'll give it another few seconds. But we are ready to go. We're ready to launch into this game. 10-second spectator delay. And we begin. Booyah, Grandma. Thank you for hanging out. LB10 is here. Hey, LB10. Alright, guys. Looks like we are launching into the first game flawlessly. Booyah. Persians v Koreans right off the bat. We're going to see the teal player here, Karyk versus MbL in red. Koreans are a good civ. Persians are a good civ too. This is really not a huge mismatch, at least not at first to my eyes, but we'll look over the maps and see how things look. Teal player is going to have his main gold on the back side. He's also going to have a back pocket that includes gold and stone and very safe area to take wood. Has one boar within the walls. The other boar is where? Other boar is in the walls as well. That's going to be nice. He will probably drop one of these stone walls to push in some deer. Stone on the front could get pressured, but a nice relic sitting right on his front porch. Relics definitely favoring the teal player. There's 3 of them almost touching his walls here. And relics obviously very important in arena. MbL on the other side will be playing as Koreans. MbL will have stone on the front, berries on the front, main gold on the front. So right away, not as good of a map as the teal player, I would say. MbL will have his boars and his deer patch within the wall. Not much in the back pocket on this side, not much in the back pocket on the other side, but one safe stone pile in the back. So MbL really can't get, he can't sustain being pushed at for too long, at least in my humble opinion, whereas Karyk can really take some early aggression, take a few punches from MbL and probably recover. MbL's boar is outside the walls as well. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting game. MbL already scouting forward. That may be indicative of his plan. Wow, that is a very early scouting forward from him. He did a good job to scout his pocket and figure out that he has nothing behind the walls here. You'll see players often, grab down these walls and basically do a bunch of scouting and go into that back pocket area. Teal player Karyk saying no boars for you. Absolutely on point. There will be no stolen boars for MbL, but he is here forward. He's going to figure out that his opponent has a fantastic map. Relics there on the front. MbL is going to have to be faster to castle, I think, and he's going to have to be aggressive. But we'll see. He's the pro, not me. We'll see what he ends up doing. Just luring in boars for the time being. Just luring in boars and getting things going. So let's see how this spreadsheet does for me here. So we have Persians for Karyk. Persians will not be able to get atonement if this spreadsheet is correct. Let's test it out here together. Whereas the Koreans player, MbL, will also not be able to get it. Let's just double check if that's true. That's relatively important. If one player can convert monks and the other can't, that can be very annoying. Monks are very important in the early castle age. Often people get aggressive to get those relics and do a little bit of converting. Let's just see if I'm totally crazy here. We have Koreans, we have the monastery, we do not have atonement. Booyah, that's important. Persians player here is also not going to have it based on my spreadsheet. Looks like it's true. Cool. So we won't see monks converting monks here, which could make this a little bit more of an interesting game than maybe some that we've seen in the past. We'll see a little bit more strategizing here. MbL luring in his boar now. We will not expect to see either player get loom anytime soon. They need every single second to get up to castle as fast as possible. So players are probably scouting around the map. MbL doing a very good job to find most of the relics. Blue player is just now scouting around a little bit himself. He is not pushing those deer on the front side that I thought he might. He's not worried about that food boost, at least for the time being. MbL's deer patch is within his walls, but you might see his scout work his way over here to push some deer. Every little bit of food boost can help you a lot to get to the castle age a little bit sooner. MbL probably not super happy with this map, but we're 7 minutes in. Somebody can maybe let me know about the restart rules for this tournament in the group stage. There may be no restarts. I'm not even sure about that. But MbL obviously going to be too late here to call a re. It's not like he absolutely needs it. This is a good enough map for him. You might want to save it for something a little more dire. This is going to be good enough for him to maybe sustain an early push, but obviously not a great map. Koreans around, good chance of mangonels. One restart has to be called before 4 minutes. Thanks, Wikia. Thank you indeed. Thanks, guys. So yeah, we're getting our feet wet here with the Masters of Arena 4. It's beginning. Teal player starting to push some deer. He hasn't scouted a lot. He's just scouted enough to find his couple of relics on the front. I think he's going to aim to get those 3 relics right there in his front area. He hasn't even found this one, which he could contend for. He's not even going to bother. He's just going to take the 3 on the front by the looks of it. Starting to build up his eco 24 villagers apiece. Let's look at the villager count. Teal player does have an idol, which is kind of strange. Where is that idol? Oh, he's got an idol here on the house. Okay. Losing a little bit of time. Nitpicking here, of course, but he is about a couple seconds faster to his villager count than MbL. Nitpicking a little bit, but every second counts in Arena. You certainly are going to see fast castles here. Teal player going up on 25 vills. MbL will be on 26 or more. MbL is going to be on 26 villagers, so he'll be 1 vill higher than his opponent, just now pushing in those deer that we thought he might. He's headed to stone right away and gold at the same time. So MbL's headed to stone. I don't think it tips his cap too much because we've seen MbL really execute any strategy you can think of. If he puts more villagers over here and is aggressively taking it, maybe we're thinking about some sort of early castle drop or an early castle to take possession of some resources on the map. I think it might be quite probable that he's just going to build a 4th TC. He's going to have a vill or 2 on stone over the course of the next maybe 10 minutes of game time in order to build up his eco a little bit faster. That would be a strange tactic because we did talk about his resources being a little bit difficult to defend, but obviously Koreans are a nasty Imperial Civ. MbL, if he can boom up, he certainly will. Look at his opponent, though, with this stone and gold in the back pocket. That's just a really tricky one for him. Teal player hits the feudal age, will drop a market immediately, will drop a blacksmith as well. Lost a couple seconds there, but he is going to have it up, and it's not going to be too much of a delay. 2 vills on gold, indicative of a fast castle for him. He's going to have the gold already, needs a little bit more food. May use the market. I don't think he'll have to. He should be just about right to get the 800 food that he needs. A little scout fighting on the top side. You can see that the Teal player seems to have a 1-hit advantage there on MbL. Yeah, MbL's going to give his scout all the way up to dead. He was maybe busy microing his fast castle. Karyk clicking up to the castle age. MbL will be a moment behind him. He was 1 villager ahead of him, and now he's going to click up as well. So, very quickly executed fast castle. 2 villagers on gold for MbL. I'm thinking 4 TCs for him. But hey, he's going to do what he wants to do. I clicked 2 saying Karyk. Karyk obviously paying attention to the score dip of his opponent, but nonetheless, castle age coming for the Teal player. Double bit axe, he will be a moment ahead of his opponent, hitting the castle age. Is there anything else but fast castle in Arena? Yeah, not very often do we see anything other than that. Sometimes you want to put a little pressure on the relics if you're trying to be really possessive of the map, but yeah. I mean, my limited experience here is that we're going to see a lot of fast castles in Masters of Arena 4. Just makes sense. You have the stone walls to protect you. If you think you're faster than your opponent, you want to beat them up to the castle age and maybe jump on them early. Maybe jump on them early in the castle with a couple of monks to grab the relics, or a castle drop is sometimes appropriate, but in this case, MbL not going with enough stone to do any sort of castle push, at least not by my approximation. The Teal player will be basically just building up his eco with 2 villagers on gold right now, taking a lot of wood on the top side. He's going to drop 3 TCs immediately. I would have to assume. Let's see. He hits the castle age. He drops a TC on the top side. He's going to drop another TC down here on the stone. So 3 TC boom for the Teal player. If we look at his resources, Teal's going to have no more stone in the bank, so no more TCs for him for the time being. And he's going to really have spent it all to get himself booming up. MbL, on the other hand, will have Monastery Siege Workshop on the front of his area. So MbL's 2 vills on stone do not mean that he's going for more TCs. They mean that he's going to be able to drop a castle eventually. He's going to need quite a bit more stone, but he's probably got this timed out so that he'll have a few monks and a little siege on the field, put a little pressure on his opponent, and maybe castle drop him. But why speculate, guys? It's going to happen. Just 4 villagers on gold here for MbL. Immediately, Monk and Mangonel on the way. So MbL's going to take over some map. Obviously, the scout here from the Teal player will be a bit annoying. He's going to have a monastery of his own, but as we said, no atonement, so it's not going to be monk on monk crime. Hate to see monk on monk crime. It's just going to be running out to grab a few relics as fast as he can. Monks and Siege are going to be slow coming across the map for MbL, but they will allow him, presumably, to take over quite a lot of the map, and maybe castle drop his opponent. Right now, though, MbL is going to go with a second TC on the bottom side. So for the moment, MbL seems to be This is important. This mangonel shot's important. Kills the scout with that mangonel shot. That is absolutely paramount. MbL needed to get that scout with his first mangonel. He was able to do it without damaging his monk at all, and that's really going to help his push a lot. Tips his cap to Karyk, but you know what? Who cares about tipping your cap? Look at this. Speaking of a tip of the cap, oh boy. Speaking of a big mangonel shot, oh boy. MbL comes forward. He grabs one of the relics on the front, which we thought Karyk would absolutely be able to grab, and now he's going to defend that relic with a mangonel. Maybe start pushing on that wall, but you can see he's grabbing 2 relics already. Probably has enough time to maybe even grab them all. Gotta catch them all. MbL right now is controlling relics. Oh boy, Karyk's going to run over to try to grab this one as fast as he can. MbL will obviously be very happy to have 4 of them if he can get them, but he may be trying to guard that 5th. Here comes that castle drop we expected. So yeah, Karyk will grab 1 relic on the bottom side. He does identify that his opponent is going aggressive. Castle drop on the way. Siege Workshop in defense for the teal player. Barracks coming up as well. Still booming his eco for the moment. 43 villagers for teal. We see MbL coming forward with just 5 vills to drop that initial castle. Can't gut his whole economy just to build that castle. 1 relic for the teal player. It does look like MbL will have 4. He just has to come forward and grab this last one. MbL is going to have 4 relics. You can see he knocked down some walls to drop his monastery. You see that a lot on Arena. So those of you guys who are maybe studying the game a little bit, keep note of that. A little bit of a secondary wall coming up. Oh, want to up the game volume? Sure, we can do that. Sorry about that, guys. These things are always in flux. Let's try it like that. So yeah, obviously the push here from MbL is important. He's going to have a little difficulty because the teal player here can often, in these cases, can come in and snipe a mangonel with his mangonel. Castle is up though, so MbL will be pushing in the shade of a castle, and he's going to grab the teal player's initial mangonel. So the early aggression from MbL looks awfully good. Going to drop a guard tower there on the front. Interesting location. He does have a hole through the wall. He is building up war wagons. He's ready to maybe go in and do some raiding. Teal player building secondary walls. He's going to try to keep MbL out for the time being. We'll also drop another Siege Workshop in defense. MbL is there in time, but can he deny this wall? It's actually relatively important. Yeah, he's going to kill both of those vills while denying that wall. MbL right now is 10 villagers behind, but he's got the aggression. He's going to start taxing his opponent's economy. Oh, looks like a gate trying to come down there by the teal player, but in the process he actually leaves that area open. Siege Workshop and another guard tower coming down. So MbL with a bit of a delayed tower rush, and look at the beautiful mangonel shots from MbL. MbL is grabbing down 5 villagers now, and he hasn't really risked anything. There's a 6th and a 7th vill pushing on that wood line. Boy, Karyk's here in a lot of trouble here. He needs to transition his army to something that can counter this, and it looks like he will try to go into knights for the time being. Knights will be relatively tanky against a little bit of arrow fire. They can come in and snipe these mangonels and maybe turn the tide of this game. Right now, we do need to see the teal player get something done. He doesn't have a lot of time. MbL starting to put the squeeze on him with more towers, and it is looking awfully difficult. Yes, no loom for the teal player. Absolutely important from Marauder. Absolutely right. Very surprisingly, no loom. MbL is loomed up on his side. Pushing on the front with mangonel. As you can see, all those villagers went down so fast, and you know why? It's because there's no loom. Very good point. Knight's coming out for the teal player. He's going to have to try to run in and snipe some of these mangonels. Just 2 monks in defense. Potentially going to be able to convert attacking knights from the teal player, but we'll see if it comes to that. Right now, buildings starting to drop down. War wagons can start heading in. Tower creep continues from the red player here. He's going to have a couple vills here forward. This is going to be a little tricky for him. Needs to be very careful with this mangonel shot not to kill his own villagers. Sees the 2 knights, is going to make that beautiful monk sound, which pretty much scares knights away every single time. Teal player, though, is up onto 7 knights right now. He's going to have to make his move at some point in the near future because this tower creep is taking away more territory. We talked about the teal player's map being able to absorb quite a bit of a punch. You can see he's got safe gold in the back and he's got gold and stone on the other side. But right now he's in absolute desperate straits. 2 monks there on the front will grab 2 conversions, but these mangonels are all going to go down, and so are those monks, I do believe. Raiding is in. The tower creep continues. War wagons on the inside doing great damage, but for right now, oh my god, I'm absolutely wrong. Just 2 or 3 conversions there for MbL was enough to turn the tide. I thought those mangonels were absolutely dead meat. Even if those knights survived, the war wagons here in the eco are idling everything. MbL is 13 villagers ahead, 26 idols for the teal player. And it does seem like the GG is in. The teal player Karyk is going to call it a game. He's going to ask his opponent, can he let him boom next time, please? MbL with a pretty flawless victory there. We talked about how his map wasn't quite so good for turtling up and playing defensively, and I think he identified that very early on. He saw that his opponent, he saw that he was not in a great place to just play defensively, and saw the opportunity to hit his opponent. Just a couple vills early on stone, was able to get enough stone eventually to drop a castle on his opponent, continued to boom up his economy on 2 TCs, and MbL gets the win. If we look at the achievements here in Game 1, we're going to see not a whole lot going on here. Just trying to see if anybody was using the market. Right now, though, I do need to jump out here real quick and update the score before the next game launches. These guys are ready to rock and roll on the second game. They were waiting for the spectator delay now. And let's see if we can update the score. So the score is now 1-0 for Mr. MbL. Very nice first game from MbL. We will swap the civs, and these guys will go at it again. Persians, Koreans once again in that next set. 1 minute 30-second spectator delay. Looks like MbL's score is correct. And what else do we have going on? Teal just doesn't have much to defend. Yeah. Volume levels are good. Cool, cool, cool. Can you check whether Teal sees the castle? I could check that, Ron. Sorry, I'm a little late. Oh yeah, I didn't notice that relic, Vic. 10 seconds left on this game, and we are ready to launch. Hopefully you guys are strapped in and ready to go on game number 2 here. MbL sweeping game 1 pretty quickly. Let's jump into game number 2. So, welcome again, Voobly Official. This is Killer B, jumping into game number 2 of Masters of Arena 4 group stage, Karyk v. MbL. Last game was quite interesting. I won't give it away in case you're watching as a video, but we did see a really nice early game there. This game we will see Karyk as Koreans, we'll see MbL as Persians. Last game we saw the teal player as Persians, we saw MbL as Koreans. Swapping civs this game, what we will see is that I think this counts as a bugged map. I'll private message Karyk. I have a bugged boar, says the teal player. Oh yeah, he's got 2 bugged boars on the backside. This looks like a very bugged map. He's going to have to... Usually, this is very unusual. Having to cut through the wood line here is not very good, but the teal player says that he wants to continue. So that is how it's going to go, I suppose. Very interesting. The teal player does have a nice back pocket area here. He's just going to have to cut through a single solitary wood line here to get to it. He is going to knock down these back walls. He'll have some sheep and deer patch back there as well. So not a bad map here for teal. His main gold's on the front. His main stone is off to the side. A little bit of an awkward one for him, but I think it's going to be fairly decent. Yeah, lots of resources on the front area. He's susceptible to a little bit of early pressure, but he can certainly sustain it as well. MbL will have some gold in the back pocket, main gold on the back, secondary gold on the back. Gonna have plenty of safe gold here as Persians. That's going to be important, but his stone is a lot less safe. His stone could be pressured here early. MbL already knocking down the walls to push in some deer to get a little bit of a food boost. He will be so delayed. Yes, indeed. It should be a re there, and the teal player is saying that he wants to cut through the wall. Okay, they're going to go back now. It is before 4 minutes, so that is absolutely understandable. These guys are going to go back, and we will see another game. MbL stole some sheep there that I missed, I suppose. But yeah, this game will go to a restart. I don't think that will count as an actual re. I think we're gonna. I don't know. This is not my decision to make, but I would assume that that's going to be an admin re, and therefore the teal player can re again if he wants. So there you guys have it. A re in game number 2. We'll jump in again, and we will. We're going to play all 3 of these. Maps bugged if any starting resources are trapped by trees. There you go. Admin re on everybody's account. Yes, indeed. Okay, so we are going to we're going to jump in here to game number 2 in a moment. These guys launched that one immediately, and we will see how this one goes. MbL winning game number 1, as you can see on the scoreboard. Game 2, 50-second delay. We'll be right in there. Where are Yoda's here? Booyah, Grandma. Wood paneling, says Dave. Yes, indeed. We got the wood paneling over here in sweet Massachusetts. Do-do-do-do. 50 seconds, 10 seconds, we're ready to rock and roll, guys. Let's jump into the in-game, take the overlay off, and get ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually prepared. What am I talking about? What is this? What is going on here? Killer Bee's getting out of hand. All right, game number 2, group stage, Masters of Arena 4, Karyk versus MbL. We saw MbL as Koreans last game. We saw Karyk as Persians. In game number 2, they're going to switch civs, and we will see just the opposite here. Teal player coming in as Koreans will be on the east side of the map. He's going to have some stone outside his walls. Relics close by. 2 relics very close. 1 within the walls. Gold and stone on the front area, which is a little annoying for him. Secondary gold just outside the wall. So this is not a great map for the Teal player. He does have a little bit of a saving grace in his back pocket. He'll have a little bit of stone, a little bit of gold, which will be safe if he gets really pushed on hard in the early game. He might need to resort to taking those resources. But all in all, this is not a great map for Teal. On the bright side, those relics are awfully close to him. So Karyk here will be okay, but let's see what MbL's got going. MbL seems to have a superior map already. Main gold, main stone on the back area. Going to be totally safe taking that. Also has some gold in the back pocket. Lots of gold in the back pocket. Sweet, sweet baby Jesus. MbL is in a very, very good spot here. His stone's going to be on the front, his secondary stone, that is. He will be a little further from some of the relics, but he will certainly have an opportunity to get these 2. Little scout fighting on the front. MbL has gone forward to try to steal a boar in the previous games as well, or some sheep, or just do some sort of shenanigans. In this case, it's just going to be a straight-up scout fight. Looks like MbL will win that scout fight in this case. Last game he did lose it. His scout running around on 3 HP, and that's going to be a massive bonus for him. He can push some deer, and he can try to harass his opponent. I don't think he will be able to steal any sheep or a boar, but having a scout is superior to not having a scout. Absolutely, 100%. So, Koreans v Persians here. Important to note that we won't see atonement on the monks. We won't see monk-on-monk violence. We do see MbL's boars are both within his walls, so he'll be luring those in at the moment. Teal player's got a nice area here in the back where you can drop a mill maybe on this side of the berries and take deer and berries from the same mill. Always good to do double duty with your mills. He will be able to get up to castle quick, of course, but man, the long game is going to be very, very tricky for Karyk here. It's going to be very tricky for him. He may need an early castle just to defend all these resources on the front, but why speculate? It's all going to happen here quite soon. So thanks for chilling out here on Voobly Official if you're watching live. Thanks for clicking the video if you're on YouTube. This is Killer B. Sorry for my super nasally voice today. A little bit under the weather. They called me in as an emergency. The pros are all busy. Oh boy, this is huge. Karyk here is sending out a low HP Vil to grab the boar, and he's gonna... Is he going to lose this Vil? No, he's going to be okay by a hair, but boy, that seems like a really odd choice. That seems like a very odd choice to me. Took the lowest HP Vil to grab the boar. Very strange. Doesn't allow him to lure it directly under the TC because he couldn't afford to take another hit, but it's all going to be good in the end. So neither player will be looming, at least for the time being. We're probably going to see a fast castle from these guys. Karyk here is behind by 2 Vils at the moment, which is very confusing to me. He's gotten loom, but I don't understand why the other Vil... Oh, he's behind by 2 population. My bad. That is his scout. So early loom from the Teal player, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's a long boar lure for him. Not sure why he went with loom so early. Maybe that is going to be something of interest later in the game. It's a pretty strange early loom. I don't think he needs it to lure this boar, so I'm pretty confused actually about that. That will slow his castle time a bit. It will put him one villager behind MbL for the time being. But we'll see if it adds up to a hill of beans. Might not matter at all. MbL just now knocking down his back doors. He's going to head back to grab this boar. His boar is a long lure, but we'll see. I assume he knows. I assume he knows how to do this properly. Does it better than I do it. Absolutely. Luring with the weak Vil. Yeah, that was a pretty weird situation. MbL will lure his in with a full HP Vil. Luckily for him, his Vil will survive and he'll be ready to go. So, booming our way through the Castle Age here, early in the group stage of Masters of Arena 4. We do see a mining camp early from the teal player. Interesting location. It's kind of closer to the wall there, but it's going to be all good, I suppose. 2 Vils on stone very early for him, so he might be thinking about maybe some early pressure. We have seen some early castle drops from Koreans players, rather. We may have seen that last game, wink wink, just in case you're watching this as a video. Teal player finding his last couple sheep, getting his economy in order. Villager count is equal because he's going to be behind MbL, but MbL actually, importantly here, clicking up on 22 Vils. That is indicative of something special, I think. I mean, I can't imagine why he would be up so early. Traditional fast castle build necessitates a couple more Vils, but MbL will be feudal quite soon. Let's keep an eye on this. Pushing in deer at the moment, has 3 Vils on berries, is starting to take stone with 1 Vil. Very interesting. I wonder if this part of the map could be important. I wonder if that little part of the map could be important later in the game. We will see if that is the case, but right now MbL's got the scout, he's got the map reveal, and he's going to be in feudal in 3 shakes of a lamb's tail. No barracks coming down, so we're not expecting him to go with any anything too fast. Is he able to just fast castle here? Am I just crazy? Is he able to do that on 22 Vils? Right now on 505 food, he's got 110 gold. He's taking, I see, he's going to sell some stone. Fair enough. Market blacksmith coming down. MbL can sell his stone to get up to the castle age, and he'll be up really, really fast. Pushing in deer here still with his scout. That 3 HP scout has done a lot of good work for him. MbL will be going up quite soon, and man, that's pretty impressive actually. Clicking up to Castle Age on 11:24, I believe it was, of game time. Leaving 1 Vil on stone. Right now he's got 130 stone in the bank. He's going to be able to drop 2 more TCs after Castle Age comes in if he wants. But he's going to hit the Castle Age just about when the teal player hits feudal. Teal player with maybe a little bit more of a traditional fast castle here is going to be able to maybe have a little bit more, certainly going to have more total resources since he's got a few more Vils working right now. But of course, boy, fastest castle you can get in Arena is relatively important. Leet Goat, why so fast? I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for MbL. Maybe he's just trying to get in his opponent's head a little bit here. If he fast castles that quickly and drops a couple TCs and really booms his way up, then it could just be an intimidation tactic, I suppose. I doubt Teal has more resources gathered. I mean, he certainly, we would expect him to. He's got more villagers working right now, and MbL's TC is going to be idle a bit longer. But you could be right on that. MbL doing a nice job to push in deer, utilizing those resources, allowing him to just build 3 farms at the moment. Teal player having to use a lot of resources to build up his farms. Market blacksmith coming down for Teal. This will be a relatively fast castle time for him, but he's going to see MbL hit the castle age before he even clicks up. Boy, oh boy, that is interesting. Bowsaw horse collar coming in for MbL. What is he doing right off the bat? He's dropping a second TC on the back edge near his golden wood line. It will be 2 TCs for the moment for MbL. MbL just scraping the bottom of the barrel for resources right now, but he has an early castle age time. He has a second TC down. His opponent will be playing a little bit of catch-up here, I would suppose. 4 Vils on gold for the Teal player. He's got 540 in the bank, can drop an early castle if he wants. As we've speculated, it could be defensive, but we'll see. Going to build some secondary walls here already, which is pretty interesting. Let's see how this one goes down. House here on the edge to avoid the tower hop, I would suppose. That would be my guess. Still building out secondary walls already is the Teal player Karyk. Maybe he's expecting some intense early aggression from MbL. Little does he know that MbL, for the moment, is booming his way up. Just has 2 TCs, no military buildings at all. Doesn't even have monks yet. Not even having monks to grab the relics yet in the early castle age. So Teal player reacting to reacting to MbL's strategy, and maybe that is that's going to play in MbL's favor. Making his opponent react, drop a couple of early pieces of wall, maybe change his strategy just a little bit. MbL knocking on the front door with that 3 HP scout, and absolutely, people in the chat saying, what's up with those walls? I think that the teal player here is anticipating some hardcore early aggression. Anticipating some hardcore early aggression, sort of turtling up. He has a map that can sustain a little bit of early aggression, but he's already building secondary walls here. He's going to drop a castle in a defensive location here. Not bad in my opinion. I think it's nice to put that first castle there. That way he can protect his own gold and stop his opponent from pushing on that corner, or at least that is the hope. Yeah, for now, we'll see him get that castle up and probably drop some more TCs of his own. MbL on 3 TCs, he will be on 39 villagers. 10 villager advantage here for the red player. The Persian player here is 10 vills ahead now due to that early castle age. He's got his opponent thinking very defensively. Secondary walls already coming up for the teal player. MbL just kind of try-harding on that front wall, annoying his opponent, and maybe just keeping his opponent thinking about potential pressure in his face. Barracks already for the teal player. We may see the teal player without a scout react to what is really a fake early aggression from MbL. MbL is booming up on 3 TCs. He's got his opponent thinking barracks stable. He's got his opponent thinking that aggression is on the way. Castle comes up for Karyk. For now, it is not pumping out units, but we'll keep an eye on it. That barracks is idle. We'll see what comes out of the stable, presumably. Well, let's not even presume. Let's just wait and see what goes down. But right now, MbL is transitioning his economy over. Going to drop another TC by the looks of it. There you go. 4th TC coming down now for the red player, who is just booming his way up. 54 villagers, 20 vills ahead of his opponent. And for the moment, he will be 3 TCs ahead of his opponent. The teal player has reacted with a castle, and he's reacted with basically what seems like saving resources to build up a couple of scouts now. He's going to get a couple of scouts out and I guess start looking over the map. Neither player seems interested in relics for the time being. Bosa coming for Karyk, both players booming up for the time being. So MbL's strategy here was to go with an incredibly fast castle age, buying it up, using stone on the market. He got his opponent to react by building some defensive walls. I think this defensive castle should be in this area generally anyway. I think that these resources on the front are too important for the teal player to let his opponent have a chance to win them. But very, very defensive play. 1 TC build so far for teal, just now coming in with the 2nd TC. Villager count is plus 30 for MbL at the moment. Obviously, the longer this game goes, the bigger MbL's advantage is going to become, because his opponent is just now building his 2nd TC. MbL will be on 4 TCs. He's booming up like a madman. He's not even going after relics. Everything is good in the hood for Mr. MbL. MbL doing a very good boom, says Quick. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This one is looking like a very, very uphill battle for Karyk. He's going to have to identify what MbL's doing with those early scouts and try to do something to counter it. Pushing on MbL's walls, as we talked about before, is not a great strategy because MbL's got gold, gold, and gold in the back pocket. He also has his main stone pile on the back and gold on the back as well. So even a sort of castle drop or pressure in the face with some siege here would be it would be difficult to predict that being enough. Is he going to get through the gate? Not quite. Karyk is grabbing relics. He is playing the a bit more of a standard arena game here, getting the relics, scouting out across the map, although just 2 TCs at the moment. That is not very standard. Building up in the back area, he's got some relics. He's got a relic now. He's got a couple monks on the field. He's gonna play this one for the long game, but he has to identify that MbL is just booming uncontrollably right now. MbL, what is he now? Almost 50 villagers ahead, 48, 47 vills ahead by my count. Can't trust me on counting, I'm a biologist, but still building up on the backside. MbL will go monastery and university now. He may be able to get something done. His opponent, though, is kind of camping those front relics with his scout. Karyk's going to grab relics on the backside. He's sending 4 villagers forward. If we look at his eco, he's got enough for a castle. We have to expect that that's going to be a castle drop. But like we said before, where do you drop it? Well, he's going to drop it here. It's not too bad. It will stop MbL from expanding forward. It will take away his stone and probably allow the teal player to grab both of these relics. But man, it's not enough pressure to really warrant a panic of any sort by MbL, who's just happily booming up on the backside of this. MbL in very good shape here, but the teal player is not playing a bad game. He's going to grab all 5 of the relics here, and he's going to have to hope that MbL makes a little bit of an awkward strategic decision in the early Imperial Age, and he's going to have to hope that he gets a chance to get back in it. He needs time. Time is very important. Let's see if MbL even bothers to go after this castle. Right now it is 3 stables on the front for the red player playing as Persians. MbL building out his stables at the moment. He's going to have bloodlines on the way as we speak. Excuse me, soon to be Imperial. Soon to be Imperial. MbL's going to be a little bit surprised by this castle, which is just barely outside of his fog of war. So the teal player, in that sense, doing a good job to maybe surprise his opponent with this castle. It will annoy this front stable, but the others should be relatively safe, at least from what I can gather. Here comes MbL actually with a Vil, and he's going to stumble right onto this castle just in time to die. No, not quite in time to die. So the teal player is, he's got his castle up. It was a bit of a surprise to his opponent. Siege Workshop Barracks on the front. Some monasteries would be nice for him. He's got to react to the fact that he sees double stables from MbL and Imperial Age. We know that MbL's going knights. Obviously the teal player will know it soon. He saw a few knights running around. He sees a couple of stables. He's got to identify this very early. Barracks and barracks coming up for him. Maybe going to get some pikes out early. Right now, the teal player is kind of all in on that forward aggression. I say that because he's so far behind on villagers. He's not going to be Imperial anytime soon. This castle has to stand for several minutes, at least in my estimation, to for him to get back in this game. MbL massing up some knights, has a few monks on the backside. Scouts walking around here. He's going to find that there are a few monks and a few knights there from MbL. Lure him back toward the castle for the time being and maybe get a couple free arrow shots in. Not quite really any damage, though. Teal player's doing a great job right now to scout around. Karyk's doing a great job to find out that his opponent's going with Siege Workshops. MbL's not doing anything surprising. This is a bit surprising. Building out his eco here on the front side. Oh, Karyk is there and ready. So he's going to identify very quickly that there's villagers outside the walls. Interesting. Maybe MbL's going to try to lure his opponent over there. He just builds a farm for now. That he's got a scout here still just doing great damage. MbL just watching his villagers die. MbL's going to give up 5 Vils on that side, potentially, to the teal player. He's going Cavalier, he's going Paladin, Imperial Age on the way in. If Teal had his wish, he would wish that MbL was this passive early in the Imperial Age. These knights, for now, are just going to hang back. I suppose the fact that Teal is all stonewalled in on... oh boy. MbL is going to kill that scout eventually and have a couple villagers building up a mill. I don't know what his plan is over there. He's expanding his eco outward, though, and we'll keep an eye on him. We are going to see more Cavalier coming. Paladin is on the way. MbL is ready to push back against this relatively soon. What's in the Siege Workshops? It's Rams on the way at the moment. So MbL thinking about ramming down. We do see a ton of pikes in defense for Karyk, who is going 3 barracks there on the front. He has a couple of monks there as well. Has a siege workshop of his own, but has not built any siege to put pressure on the front area. He's waiting to defend this, and I think that's a smart move on his part because, like we said, he's just hit the Imperial Age. He's way behind on villagers. MbL is going to have a massive army, and he's just got to play a really nice defense if he's going to have any hope here of coming back. Couple of relics on the way in for Karyk. Still on 65 Vils. Is way behind villager count-wise at the moment. MbL spending quite a lot, but he has a ton in the bank right now. He's able to keep most of these stables going with Paladins. Capped Rams coming, Battering Ram on the way. Teal player, a little bit in the bank. We'll see what he does with it. Right now he's building out Trash. He has gone Halbs, Conscription on the way. Bringing back relics as fast as he can. Building up houses, building up this forward. Has a lot invested in this. Right now, MbL looks like he's getting ready to go in. He's dropping down the walls, sending in the Rams. Teal player is going to send the Halbs forward right away. Halbs in the shadow of this castle will be okay. MbL's got a whole lot of Paladins, though. He has 43 military, and it is mostly Paladins, so he can certainly run in and take this fight. Look at this. Paladin's kind of using the Rams as a distraction. They're going to come in here, and the teal player is going to have a lot of trouble on his hands. He just doesn't have enough halbs, I don't think. Halbs are a great counter to paladins. They're very cheap, but of course, boy, that's a lot of paladins. MbL is going to chop this down pretty darn quickly. Teal player is now going to lose potentially his Treb on that side as well, losing all those halbs. The Rams have pretty much all stood, and they will be able to head in and take this castle down by the looks of it. Iron casting coming in for MbL. We can see that he's done some upgrades on those paladins, getting them ready for a late game push. This castle will drop pretty quickly, and then it will be on to the next one. MbL, because of his eco, can probably pump out paladins just about as fast as his opponent can pump out halbs. Just a really tough game right now for Karyk. He's going to lose that front area. We said that he needed more time, and it doesn't look like he's going to have enough time. Still on 66 Vils, MbL on 130. We can actually see MbL with paladins starting to roam forward. Teal player's got a secondary area starting to boom up with the TC there, but I don't think it's going to matter. He's going to lose his whole forward. He's just going to continue to get picked on by MbL, who tricked his opponent. I think it's fair to say that he tricked the teal player with his early castle, made Karyk sort of turtle up. We saw early walls from the teal player. Very defensive play from him. Just one TC for quite some time in the castle age. He sort of was preparing for a lot of aggression that never showed up. This game I played bad, even for my standards, says Teal. He's going to give the GG. And he said, you should have let me boom last game. So there you guys have it. MbL gets the win. He goes with 4 relatively quick TCs. He goes with the market buy-up to get to the castle age. And plays a pretty strong game there, gets the win. This is a group stage game, so we will see another match right after this one. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go on to game number 3. Sorry about that, Ricardito. I didn't show you the resources in time, but the one time I looked over there, MbL had a lot in the bank. He was keeping those stables pumping out paladins at a near constant rate. 130 Vils is just so much production. Let's quickly update the score here. Let's see. Scores. So we will make it 2-0. As I was saying before, we're going to play all 3 games. Every win matters, and I'm hoping that Karyk can pull out game 3 here. It's going to be a team random game, as you can see from the stats there, game number 3. So both players will be dealing with the same type of advantages, I suppose. When is the next game? Now. Yes, it is, Strix. The next game is now. Players have launched minute and 30-second spectator delay, and we will jump into the next one. 50-second delay. Scores are updated. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Killer B. Appreciate you guys being here. Just jumping into the early stages of the Masters of Arena 4. Pretty exciting set of games here so far. MbL dominating the first 2. I think that's fair to say. 10-second on the spectator delay, so let's turn the overlay off here, and let's get ready for game number 3. All right, game number 3. We have Karyk versus MbL. It is team random in game 3. It'll be Saracens v Saracens on this Masters of Arena 4 group stage match. Again, MbL and Karyk here. So these guys have played a couple of exciting games in game 1 and 2. In this game, we will see the teal player. He's going to have his back pocket with a little bit of gold, little gold on the backside. Stone on the back as well. Both players having their re left. We did have an admin re earlier, but both players can re out of this game. Teal will have his gold on the front. He will have some stone outside his walls, but all in all, a pretty average arena map for him. We'll have 1 relic within his walls, 1 relic close by, 1 relic out here in no man's land. So very fair relic generation, at least in my estimation here early. MbL has gone forward in every game with his scout early to try to see if he can snipe a boar or maybe steal some sheep or something. Just try some sort of shenanigans. In this game, he will not be able to really do much. Let's see if he's... nope, looks like he's good. Okay, so MbL is forward, but he's not going to be able to get too much done there. If we look at his side of the map, he is also Saracens here in red. He'll have his gold on the back. Back pocket area just has some sheep, but also 2 gold piles. Very nice back area for him. Stone is going to be a bit trickier for MbL. He's got his main stone on the front, secondary stone on the front, some gold outside the walls. This area seems like a relatively important zone. Castle drop there would be nice if you're Karyk, but a defensive castle there for MbL might be a good idea as well. Why speculate? Killer B doesn't make the decisions. These pro players make the decisions. All in all, I would say Karyk's map's a little better in my opinion because of this front area of MbL, but MbL's got plenty here to sustain. Even if he gets pushed on, he's got plenty of gold here to really push back on his opponent if he needs to. Look at this though, immediate villagers forward for MbL, 3 vills forward, going to drop some palisades, going to drop a house there on the edge. And what is the plan, my friend? It's going to start taking that deer on the front side. Karyk can see this, of course, because of the proximity to those walls. But MbL is going to block off that front gate for the time being. It's going to block that gate off for the time being. I don't know. Keep an eye on him. Does appear to be trolling a little bit here in game number 3. Little bit of a trolling situation by the looks of it. MbL with 3 vills forward. Teal player is probably going to have an advantage here. He's going to identify this early. If he can have a nice, flawless, fast castle build, I think he'll be okay. I don't think MbL poses much of a threat there, but he is going to build up a mill, and he is going to take those deer on the front side of his opponent's area. Take a little food away from Karyk, I suppose, for the time being, and maybe turn that into some form of aggression. Some form of aggression. MbL doing a little bit of trolling. Some people in the chat did call a Vill rush. Props to you guys. Booming up on the backside right now. MbL just building up his eco. Still hasn't found some sheep. His scout was so aggressively forward early. Villager counts at the moment are +1 for the teal player. MbL is not loomed. MbL is just about half a villager behind. So we'll see the teal player maybe absorb some early aggression here. Like we said, he's got some stone on the back. He's got these extra gold piles in the back corner and extra stone on the back corner. Not extra, but secondary stone. I think he's going to be just fine to absorb any sort of a bit of pressure. Thank you for the host, Mem. Sorry, I can barely read the text, but I'm pretty sure that we just got hosted. Appreciate that very much. Thanks, guys, for being here. This is game number 3, Masters of Arena 4 between MbL and Karyk. Group stage match going on right now. Teal player here, Karyk, is down 2-0, as you can see, or 0-2, I should say. MbL is forward in this game, and he's maybe trolling his opponent a little bit with a forward mill right in front of Karyk's area. Karyk is a little bit, maybe a little bit, not under pressure, I shouldn't say that, but he sees it. He's probably a little bit confused at what in the heck MbL is doing. I know I am. Karyk's got a good map to absorb any sort of pressure here. I think he's going to be just fine to work his way through this, just chewing up his sheep, presumably carrying on with a normal fast castle. If we look at his resources, yeah, he should be able to click up relatively soon and fast castle. MbL on the other side, excuse me, will be maybe a little bit behind, as villagers spent a lot of time walking across the map to take this deer patch. Little bit of wasted time there from MbL, and we'll see if it works out for him, but 2 vills moving over to gold from Karyk. Saracens v Saracens here in game number 3. It is all 3 games played here in the group stage because every win matters in determining if you make it to the next level. I'm Killer B, thanks for hanging out. Sorry that my voice is so nasally. It is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Teal player clicking up to the feudal age on 24 vills. It seems like a relatively early time, but he's going to get up. MbL is on 25, and he's still going for the time being. Looks like he'll click up on 25. There you go. So we may see the teal player up to castle age first here. He needs to make some good decisions to not overreact, I suppose, to this area in the front of his base that MbL is taking over. Scouting for MbL seems to be kind of meh. Teal player not really scouting much either. Hasn't really gone forward to figure out where the relics are or anything like that. Time to get a little more aggressive. I think he's going to have a chance to get to the castle age first and probably grab some of these relics. Relics obviously going to be important in an arena game. Not always, but usually. It'd be nice to see the teal player use his advantage to grab some relics. He could also convert these villagers, I guess, if he wanted to, but we'll see what he does. 3 vills from MbL, still chewing up deer. Looks like for the time being he will do a little bit of trolling here. We'll see if it ends up biting him in the butt. He's going to obviously eventually have to bring those vills home, I would expect. I would expect MbL on his side not taking any stone for the time being, pushing some deer through the walls, is taking gold rather aggressively on the way to Feudal Age. Karyk is into the Feudal Age, probably going to drop an immediate market blacksmith. Right now it is 4 vills building a market. May not have the wood. Yeah, okay, there he goes. He's got the wood now for a blacksmith. Going to be ready to pop his way up to the Castle Age. In 3 shakes of a lamb's tail, MbL on the other side will probably do pretty much the same thing. Seems to be having plenty of gold right now. Needs a little more food, but he will be all right, I suppose. Is MbL doing the same thing? I don't see those buildings. Where are they? Yeah, those buildings are coming up right in front of the teal player. So those forward vills that just finished the deer patch are actually now being tasked to this. MbL is trolling a bit here, sending these vills forward, but they actually haven't lost a lot of time. They were gathering the entire time they were forward, and now they've been building this entire time. Actually, relatively efficient use of those vills, other than the walking across the map. We'll see what those vills are tasked to do next. Right now they're going to be killing a wolf and screwing around and losing a little bit of gather time. So teal player here has an advantage, is scouting around the map, needs to identify that his opponent is doing a little trolling, and needs to hurt him because of it. This is his chance to snatch a game from the great MbL, and we'll see if he does it. MbL sending those 3 vills back. He's going to take gold right out in the front of his area. So a little bit of a ballsy early play from MbL, a little bit of trolling. Teal player is going to be up first, but not by a lot, 17 seconds. Right now he is working his way up. We can see the resources that he is starting to accumulate, but no military buildings yet. Nothing quite yet. Does not seem to be overreacting to this. However, he does lose his scout again to MbL. MbL able to snipe the teal player's scout last game. He's able to snipe him here. Boy, oh boy, Karyk is not going to really know a whole lot of what's going on, but maybe it won't matter. We'll have to see what his unit composition is here in a moment. Houses coming down on the front. What is going to be going down in Castle Age? I can barely wait. So MbL's pretty committed now to taking quite a lot of gold. Teal player has a few less villagers on there, but he can transition more over. He'll be to Castle Age in a second, and we'll see exactly what he does here. Hits the Castle Age, and right off the bat goes with what? Okay, monastery on the front, can knock down some walls, send out some monks, and grab some relics. He will have double monasteries there on the front. So we're going to see some aggressive monk play, grabbing the relics early. Important for the late game. We're going to see aggressive play from MbL as well. Siege Workshop Monastery coming for the red player MbL. MbL's got a lot of gold in the bank. Does seem to be able to build a couple monks up, build a couple of siege units. Double monastery for him as well. So both players go in double monastery. The monasteries come up at similar times. Redemption right away for the teal player. Right now he is building up a 3rd monastery. Very interesting. Triple monastery push here early from teal. He's going to be able to put some pressure on. MbL will also have a 3rd monastery. So 3 monasteries and actually some rams. Thought those would be mangonels. That's because I don't know what I'm talking about here. Rams out early for Mr. MbL. He's going to have a ram. He's going to have sanctity. He's going to have redemption coming. Oh boy. Here we go. Monks v Monks on the front side. Siege Workshop coming down now for the teal player. So teal prioritized the 3 monasteries first, and then the Siege Workshop. MbL had his Siege Workshop out a little earlier, and he'll be putting some pressure on with rams. He's taking this gold very brazenly on the front area for the time being, but it's not going to matter just yet. Predicting what is happening pretty well is MbL. He's going to be just fine there on the front side. Town Watch coming, Atonement coming for MbL. The push is real. The push is real here. The scout is in. Maybe going to snipe down a monk here for free. Not quite. The sound of monks scares that scout away, as it probably should, and those monks will be able to hold the line for the moment. 2 rams out for MbL. He's got no more on the way for the time being. Teal player is going to defend this with a mangonel. He's also going to have a barracks down in a moment. TCs seem to be even. Seems to be 1-to-1 to me, but I could be wrong about that. Let's see. Yeah, MbL on 1 TC, Teal player on 1 TC. They are all in right now for an early push. Did MbL convert a mangonel there on the front side? I believe he did. That mangonel seemed to come in early, and he's also pushing now. Oh boy. This is looking really bad now for Karyk. Karyk is, oh my god, oh my god. That is indeed the right phrase for this. I thought I had Atonement. He didn't have Atonement. He couldn't fight the monk-on-monk crime. He clicked Redemption instead of Atonement, and then that's pretty much going to be a wrap, because right now these rams are in on the front side. They are knocking down these monasteries, and we're going to see a very, very early GG here from the teal player. Just one tiny mistake from teal, as he said, got the wrong upgrade on his monks. You could see all these red monks. Some of them were initially MbLs, but some of them were converted. And MbL able to really take over his opponent's area. Unfortunately, he clicked the wrong upgrade, and it will go 3-0 in favor of MbL here in the first group stage of Masters of Arena 4. I hope you lose in the final to Loiza. Alright guys, these videos will be posted up on the YouTube channel for Voobly Official if you want to check them out. If you didn't get to see the first couple, MbL with some really, really nice games. A couple of strategies that maybe surprised me a little bit. All in all, a pretty solid game there. Just one TC aggression from both players. But, you know, the monks from MbL with Atonement, just a little bit too much for the teal player, Karyk. A nice set of games. Goes 3-0 to MbL. Maybe not too surprising. You know, MbL's a very, very strong player. We expect him to go deep into this tournament, of course. In this third game, he did go with maybe a little bit of trolling, but not that much. I mean, he didn't waste villager time trolling. It's not like he sent 3 villas to rush the walls or anything like that. He was in the front gathering deer and annoying his opponent, and went with a ton of early aggression. Alright guys, that is going to be it for the Voobly Official stream. My goal was to come on and do these couple of games. I'm going to head over to my own channel. If you guys want to hang out with me, feel free. If not, you know, keep watching AOC somewhere. Go to another channel and keep the game alive, guys. But yeah, I'm going to kill the stream. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Seems like we will continue to roll through these. I'll be back here tomorrow. Let me just check the schedule. I'll be back here tomorrow at 20:15 GMT, but let me tell you what else is going on Voobly Official over the next couple of days. So we will see, let's see, Thursday, tomorrow, 9 GMT, Robo versus Avicii. Maddie Moo and Robo, going to be casting those on Voobly Official. I'll be doing Fenor versus Demax at 20:15 GMT. Both of those are Masters of Arena 4. Those are the only things scheduled on Voobly Official right now until Saturday. So keep yourself updated on AOCZone.net. Saturday, of course, will be Tyrant versus SY, the Clan Masters Grand Final, 10 GMT. You can catch it here on Voobly Official. Thanks for chilling out. I'm Killer B. Gonna head over to my own channel, guys. I'll let you guys do your thing. You can come over there. You can head over to another AOC channel. But thanks for chilling out with me for the time being. Hopefully you guys didn't get too annoyed by my lack of skill. Hopefully you had a good time nonetheless. Appreciate you being here. Peace and love. Catch you soon. Au revoir.